Hey, how we doing out there, everybody? My Sonorville High peeps. We are in our sixth week here. So, checking in with you guys via video as I'll do every other week. And this week you have returned to you certainly your narrative essays, and I've added the 5 points that I told you I would add if you did the blog from that week. And many of you did. So I just went back to your original score on the narrative essay, and if you contributed to that blog, I added 5 points to your score. Notice, though, that I don't put you over 100. Okay, so let's say you got like a 96 on your narrative essay and you did the blog. I'll give you 100, not 101. It's just easier for the gradebook calculation, we're not to have grades exceed 100%, so that just helps me, keep that in check. So that is done. Your journal that is due Sunday, as I'm recording this, that is the 22nd. That was on either one of the two SEC exercises. And as I say that, I now realize that the journal was due Friday, as all engagement activities are: journals, blogs, discussion forums, etc. So my mistake. That was due Friday, 2 days ago as of me recording this, the 20th. And for that journal, you could select two of the prompts in the SEC textbook, asking you to describe various scenarios or scenes, and using that to potentially make your own narrative essay. So depending on which one you did there for SEC 3.2, and while I'm on the topic, I just want to just do a double check of that exercise. Right, so it was exercise 4.5 for describe the following 5 items in a short paragraph. Now each of those, a lot of times students will make a paragraph for each: night, beach, city, dinner, stranger. But really, the assignment is asking you to incorporate each of those things in a single paragraph. Okay, so the directions there for night, beach, city, dinner, stranger to have been incorporated in a paragraph. So that's what we'll be looking for. 5 then is an organizing strategy executed in a short paragraph for 3 of the following 6 items. The 6 items being train station, your office, your car, coffee shop, the lobby of a movie theater, and a mystery option. So for that one, we're talking about organizing strategies for descriptive essays. It depends what your topic is. Let's say my topic is my in-laws' house where my wife and I currently live. If I were to describe that house, what would be my organizing strategy? So would I do it room to room, for example? Maybe I would. I would say, when you walk in, you see the living room. Of course, I would be using lovely descriptive language, as you guys need to do, describing this living room. But I could start in the living room, then say go into the kitchen or the office. So my organizing strategy would be rooms, okay? If you're describing, let's say, a family member, your grandmother, let's say, maybe your organizing strategy could be, the meals she made for you or still makes for you, which, so you could organize your essay according to the different specialties or different meals, okay? So when you look here, depending on what the writer chooses, this is structure of a descriptive essay. The organization can move from top to bottom. Okay, so let's say you're describing a building. You could start at the top, go to the bottom. Left to right, near to far, warm to cold, frightening to inviting, and so on. So for your descriptive essay due at the end of this week, Sunday, you want to make sure that you have an organizing strategy. Like how are you structuring? And that has to do with structure, really. So how are you structuring this essay? According to what? According to what scheme? What organizing principle? Okay, so exercise 5 kind of helps you with that one right there. So those were due Friday, part of the journal, and then due Sunday, the day I'm recording this. You guys are probably watching it Monday, the 23rd, but due Sunday, the 22nd, is the 1101, Reader 1101, where you had the Truman Capote piece, In Cold Blood, and Once More to the Lake by E.B. White, who, fun fact, E.B. White you might recognize from Charlotte's Web and Stuart Little. His essay about parenthood and time and going back to that favorite campsite in Maine really doesn't have those kind of children's literature hallmarks. Like, it doesn't sound like a Stuart Little or Charlotte's Web. It's maybe a little more adult, a little more grown up, contemplating on the passage of time and how we grow up and how we view our kids and all that stuff. So kind of a different tone vibe with that essay if you've ever read Charlotte's Web or Stuart Little. So we had some discussion questions there. Those are due Sunday the 22nd. Journal on SEC 3.2 due Friday the 20th. And that is our week that is concluded. This upcoming week, it is your descriptive essay. That's our second essay. Make sure you read the announcement. Make sure we get that formatting right. You'll notice that there's a student example for each of the SEC modes of discourse that we're doing, usually toward the bottom. So with this descriptive, just like the narrative, it should be 12 point, Times New Roman, double spaced, MLA heading. At the upper left of the first page, your name, my name, the course, and the date on which you are turning it in. Upper right of every page is your last name and the page number. And then spaced, double space down from the heading and centered is the title. One double space down from there, justified to the left-hand margin, tabbed, indented, is where you would begin your introduction. So just make sure you look over that format on the student example for your essay, because format is a rubric criterion, so we'll definitely be looking for that. And then the only other thing due, it's not really due, but you are encouraged to, is a blog, okay? And that the blog just asks you to kind of reflect on the readings for the descriptive unit. Opening up here for blog 2, the 2 reader selections. So either the Truman Capote, the first section of In Cold Blood, where he's kind of setting the scene for the murders that took place in his novel In Cold Blood. He a lot of times setting the scene, the setting in Kansas and Holcomb. Some people might find that kind of dry or off-putting. It's just a lot of setting-heavy description there. But Capote is trying to establish that sense of place and how place affects characters, character motivation. I mean, you think about it, we're all affected by where and when we are, right? I mean, our setting certainly affects how we act in life. And I think that's what Capote is trying to do artistically as a writer, is show you how setting impacts people's actions. And if you're ever interested in reading In Cold Blood, it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's a very emotionally gripping book, especially toward the beginning and the end. So if you guys like that kind of true crime, genre, this is like the OG. Okay, and then the White essay is quite lovely. I really love Once More to the Lake. I just love the kind of deep thinking about the nature of time and how do we measure engaged time over a great many years? It's like it doesn't exist, right? It's like we've been the same person for all these years, yet we're not. So a lot to dig into there. So for the blog, you could write about do this Friday blog if you choose to do it. It's voluntary, extra credit on your descriptive essay if you choose to do it. Write either on that Capote reading or the E.B. White reading. So just to recap, check the announcement this week, as you should every week. Just basically another version of this video announcement here. At the end of the week, due Sunday, is your descriptive essay. Due 20%, or making up for 20% of your overall course grade. Narrative was 15%, so that is due Sunday. If you want me to take a peek at it this week, time allowing, I'm happy to give you some global overall comments on your draft. If you want me to do that, I'm happy to. Do Sunday, that descriptive, and then Friday, if you want, the blog on either the Capote reading or the E.B. White reading. Other than that, no other huge concerns. Just make sure you're reading the announcements, following directions, getting in touch with me, clarifying things. Watch that late work. Again, as a rule, I'm not accepting late work unless you have a legitimate extenuating circumstance. It's really difficult to kind of go rummaging through emails for late assignments. That's, why we have deadlines and why we have Blackboard, so everything is in one common place at the expected due date and time. Okay? All right, everybody. Well, I think that is going to go ahead and conclude our little check-in here. I hope you all are doing well, and I look forward to talking to you again in another couple weeks. And don't forget to get in touch with me if you need anything. All right? Have a good one. Peace.